Hey, and welcome to the Hopcast.
Thanks for joining us once again, everybody.
I'm Brad Chmielewski.
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
Special guest.
We got a special guest, Mr. Tom Korder.
Oh, very nice.
Tom has decided to sit down with us. I don't know why, but brewer.
It's the beer.
Okay. Yeah, we did offer up a nice, presentable line of beers for you to drink, so I guess that was pretty enticing. But Tom, obviously, of the newly announced Penrose Brewing Company. We're going to sit down and drink some beers that are Belgian. Because this is what you like to drink.
Very true. Very true.
And this is going to be what you were going to brew at your new brewery.
Yep, Belgian inspired.
Right.
And this
Obviously,
is,
you're not brewing in Belgium.
Right.
This is crazy for us. We're usually American craft beer all the time. So.
But we are at the Hopleaf right now. Yeah. So we want to give a major shout out to the Hopleaf for letting us shoot here. And a large part of what the Hopleaf is about is presenting Belgian beer the way it is in Belgium.
Right. So proper glassware,
proper temperature. Yeah, really let the beer shine and bring out the characteristics that they want to be brought out.
So Tom, as a Belgian beer lover and one who really likes to brew that style, what is it that you look for? Huh?
And a Belgian beer drinker.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I guess you drink the stuff too.
Quite a bit. Quite a bit.
What is it that you look for when people, not just Belgian beers, but people making Belgian beers, Belgian style beers?
I think the real key to Belgian style beers is the characteristic you get from the yeast. So a lot of these different breweries or monasteries or whoever's brewing the beer kind of has their own yeast strain and their own characteristic that comes with that. So a lot of Belgian yeasts have a lot more phenolic characters, so spicier notes, cloves, cinnamon, even sharper notes than that. But then they also have a nice fruity characteristic too. So those esters that really have a nice like bouquet of pears or of flowers, a lot of different aromas that come out of that. So when you have that balance between the two with your yeast strain, that really lets the Belgian beer shine.
I couldn't agree more. So, Tom, we'll throw this to you. What are we drinking today?
Okay, so we've got Orval, kind of, I think, one of the best Belgian beer styles ever. If anybody hasn't had Orval, it's one of my favorite. I'd say if I had one beer to drink for the rest of my life, it'd be Orval.
Damn.
Duvel, really another great archetype of the style, strong golden. Everybody tries to be Duvel. And then also Kwak. Great glassware, Belgian pale, nice solid beer.
I think I want to say this is why anyone ever orders that beer. They want the glass.
It's a statement going across the bar. You see that, you're like, I want to try that.
Yeah.
I want to be like that guy.
It just seems dangerous to drink that beer. Like I'm worried it's gonna fall. Like something's gonna go wrong here.
Yeah. But all right, so let's see. How should we taste these?
I do Duvel first.
Duvel first.
Start off kind of a lower flavor profile, a little bit lighter.
Okay, jump on in there.
All right, we'll do.
It is quite boozy.
What is it like?
So this comes in at 8.5%. Duvel's responsible for also kind of like creating that style naming thing. Duvel means devil.
Devil in Flemish.
Oh, okay.
So you'll find a lot of beers by this style have devil in them somehow or another. Smith makes Horny Devil. Yeah,
Lucifer, Prankster out of North Coast. A lot of the breweries are kind of having different takes on the devil or similar.
Yeah, so like nice strong beer, but really drinks quite lightly.
It has a nice spiciness to that and aroma as well.
Yeah, I like the Belgian yeast spice, but then also those Saaz hops really gives a nice grassiness. It finishes nice and dry, so it's not too kind of lingering on the palate. It's just a great beer all around.
It is very dry, but there is like kind of a soft malt character that complements those two things that you mentioned quite well. It's a damn fine beer.
Yep.
Classic.
Yeah. And the glass is fun. I think we've had a couple beers in the similar glass, this bottle as well, a little nubby
The Nubby Butt Plug bottle.
I didn't know that was the name for it, but okay.
Who else does those? Jolly Pumpkin did a couple of beers in this bottle.
Oh, right.
And like their special releases. And then the...
Pirat or Pirate? Or
Yep. Pirat. And then the Berliner, there's a Berliner, Lambic Berliner in bottles like this too.
Okay. Does Grimberger use those too?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah. Look it up. Google it.
All right. Kwak next.
Let's do Kwak, yeah.
I suppose we have to save your favorite beer for last.
You might as well. Well, you guys get the bottle, I get the glass, right?
False.
Pour some back in that bottle.
This one has a real strong banana character to it.
Yep. Lots of fruity esters, a little bit of like caramel on the flavor.
I mean, yeah, you can see obviously this one's a little bit darker. I don't remember Kwak being this dark. It's been a long time since I've had a Kwak. But we do have the story of the glass from our friend Mr. Eric Hobbs, who knows how to Wikipedia stuff. Also another shout out. So Paul Kwak was a innkeeper outside of Brussels.
Yep.
And these stagecoaches would come in and didn't have any place to put their beer, so he designed the glass to be able to be hung in the coach.
Right. Yeah. So they didn't have convenient cup holders like sitting in their carriage.
So how did it
hang?
So I
think these were like the reins for the horses, right?
Yeah.
Probably leather straps or whatever came through there.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to break this glass. Watch out.
That would be
awesome. There you go. So like this would be on the carriage, and then he has this specialty glass that can just go and sit in there.
Which also looks like a butt plug.
Dirty.
Wow.
I'm going to drink some more.
So the glass in this case isn't to improve the beer, really. It's more of a necessity, right?
Yeah.
It's not like it's not adding. It maybe adds some aroma or something to it, but it's not.
No, this isn't your Sam Adams glass or your Dogfish IPA glass or what have you. This is more for actual function.
This is I had a tiny hole. I had to fit this glass.
Right. I'd say it does change the flavor of the beer. If you're not holding it with your hand,
sure it does.
If you're holding your hand on here, you don't warm up the glass as much, so the beer stays colder that way. The tapered shape of it, you're concentrating everything and then kind of releasing it too. So I'm
you
sure
should get some good aroma coming off of it.
Yeah,
is
definitely
what you're
should.
saying.
Yep.
I do.
Yeah, lots of those fruity esters.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so let's go to the Orval.
So Orval, Belgian specialty ale, Belgian pale ale, kind of crosses a lot of different categories. You know, in Belgium they don't care about their BJCP categories.
Neither do I.
Yeah, they just brew beer to be great. So Orval is one thing a lot of people try to be. What sets this beer apart is the secondary fermentation, the bottle fermentation with Brettanomyces. So it has a nice, like horsey, like leathery characteristic, especially as it ages.
And it had like almost like a brown sugary sweet aroma on it too. Like almost like a cookie kind of thing to it.
Oh man. Every time you have a bottle of Orval from a different that's been aged for a little different times, it's completely different.
Right.
This one smells amazing.
Yeah, a really nice age on this. Great, like bready character.
This is like 6 months about.
6 months. That's it. It's a good Brett character for 6 months.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're only doing the secondary fermentation with the Brett. They're not actually doing that in stainless at all.
Right.
Okay. So how do you know anything about how long they let those bottles sit before they push them out to market?
I'm not sure. I don't know that for sure.
It's interesting.
Well,
what the fuck are you here for? Tom?
Yeah, I know. Kind of a loss.
We brought you in because we didn't know.
But they did just get a new brewmaster. Orval did.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone died?
No, their old one went to start another brewery.
That happens in Belgium?
Yeah, apparently.
I thought that was only at Goose Island.
Wow.
But could he start another Trappist brewery, or because there's only the 12 or?
There was 7, and I think they just opened up an 8th.
Okay.
in Austria or something like that. So yeah, Orval is one of the Trappist monasteries. So the monks brew their beer. They're self-sustaining. So like Chmielewski, Orval, Akel, Westfalen, Westmalle, Königshoven.
You get them all?
Rochefort.
Rochefort. Testing you.
Yeah, thank you.
At least you got that question right.
But they all brew their own beer, and this is just Orval's beer. I mean, they don't do too much else. They don't try to be everything to everybody. This is their beer.
Okay, because you have a lot of breweries that do Trappist style, like Westfalen, right?
Westfalen is one.
They are Trappist, but there's a lot that are Trappist style.
Like St. Bernardus,
okay.
They're abbey ales. Okay. So they either the proceeds go to an abbey, or they are the abbey allows them to brew under their name.
Okay. Okay, I didn't realize you could. I guess a new one could become a Trappist brewery.
You have to be certified. There's a lot of things you have to go into, but they're all the Trappist breweries are denoted with a little logo on their bottles. So it's a little hexagon logo on the label of the bottle that says "Authentic Trappist Ale." It's approved by the little coalition that they have, saying the monks brew their beer. All the money goes back into that monastery for the surrounding community and everything they do.
So it's like the Brewers Association.
Similar. Similar.
But Lisa, you keep pushing the beer further away from me.
Yeah, sorry. One of the special things about all these beers is they have their own glassware. It looks gorgeous, but also it improves the flavor. It changes the flavor. These Duvel glasses have a nucleated bottom, so if you see it when it's not as hazy as this one is, there are CO2 bubbles coming up from the bottom.
Yeah, we'd had this one sitting for a while, but yeah, when we first poured it, it was
what's the nucleate bottom?
Basically, they have an etching on the bottom of a glass, and so what that does is it allows the CO2 bubbles to kind of nucleate and come out of suspension.
Okay.
So it's the same reason you pour your beer into a glass. You want to release a lot of the carbonation so it doesn't go into your stomach and you burp a lot. You want to get all the CO2 coming out of the glass, releasing aromas, so that you can smell everything that beer has and not just let that carbonation go into your system.
All right.
So the carbonation in beer is mainly for your aroma compounds.
Well, it's not only aroma. It's mouthfeel, sensation. There are a lot of different things that carbonation can do, but it carries all the aromas out of the glass. This Kwak glass is bubbling right now, and you can see all the little CO2 bubbles coming up to the top. It's carrying aromas with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice.
And burpee monks. That's just wrong.
Yeah, nobody wants a burpee monk.
Well, awesome. These are certainly some classic Belgian beers, presented in the proper way, of course, like always here at the Hopleaf.
Yeah, and if you can find a bar in your area, go out and find that, because it's expensive to keep all those glasses.
Right.
Now you have to buy all those glasses. Before, I think they would give them to you, but now you have to buy them, store them, and
keep them clean.
And hope somebody doesn't break one of these glasses, which is probably expensive to get a new one. So.
I'm sure it happens quite often. But yeah, so we can't thank the Hopleaf enough for having us here, and just it's always lovely just drinking at the Hopleaf.
Yeah.
And eating.
Yes, very true.
I'm gonna get some frites before I leave.
Ooh, maybe some mussels?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, certainly if you're in the Chicagoland area, or if you're visiting, this is certainly a place to check out. Also, keep an eye out for Tom's beers with Penrose Brewing Company.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for watching the Hopcast. Drink Belgian beer.
I'll take this one.
I'll take this one. Cheers.